Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Candice. Today I'm going to give you my quick third week of minimal tech March update to tell you how it's been going, a few things I've learned along the way so far, etc. We're going to pray for this video first and then we'll dive right in. God, thank you so much for giving us 24 hours in a day. Thank you for giving us plenty of time to do your will, spend time with you, spend time with family, work, and all the other things that occupy our days. Thank you for giving me this month of minimizing my tech usage. It's really been a nice reset and helped open my eyes to some of the things that I'd been doing with tech that just aren't so healthy. I ask that you would open the eyes and ears of anybody watching and that you would bless them with a beautiful week. In Jesus Christ's name. Okay, so for those of you who haven't watched the original video where I challenged myself to a low tech March, right? So for the entire month of March, I had decided that I wasn't going to watch any television because I had gotten into the habit of watching at least a few hours before bed. And I felt like, it had gotten to be a little excessive and probably wasn't the best use of my time. So I stopped watching television, and honestly, giving up the television has not been that hard. The other part of my challenge to myself was to minimize my phone usage. Now, I had tried giving myself this rule that it was going to be 10 minutes or less a day. I did not make that... I did not make the qualifications of that rule on many of the days in the last 3 weeks, but overall I have minimized that tech usage. So in regards to the television, okay, I unplugged the television, and so I literally just haven't touched it, haven't messed with it in 3 weeks, and honestly, giving up the TV has not been difficult. I'll read a book before bed, or, spend some time in the Bible before bed, or, spend time with family or whatever, it hasn't been particularly difficult to give up the television. So, going forward though, after this month was over, honestly, I could see myself, not watching actual TV, but occasionally popping in a movie or something just to veg for a few hours, because that's the one thing I do miss about it, is just on those occasional days when, maybe you had a difficult day, or, it was just a really busy day and you're tired. You just kind of want to veg for a few hours. But I find, at least with movies, movies are a specific amount of time, and then it's it doesn't just continue on afterwards, so it's easier to take the DVD out and then just turn the whole TV off, as opposed to regular television shows, which just, keep going on and on and on, and there's always something afterwards. So that's my plan for in the future with the television. The phone, however, okay, so I did not make the whole guideline for myself of 10 minutes a day. It's been a bit more than that. Varies depending on the day, of course, but honestly, I think with the phone, it's harder, right? Because you you start going on there and you're checking different things, and then you're oh, I need to check this. Oh wait, I forgot to check this, and check my bank online or whatever else, and you kind of get sucked into a few different things all at once, and so it's harder to minimize that time. Personally, okay. I also find the time of the day in which I look at my phone matters, right? So if I look at my phone right in the morning, I spend my time with God, right, and then check my emails right in the morning, right, I find that I am less likely to spend more time on my phone, because I'm okay, I gotta get up, I gotta start doing my stuff for the day, so it's easier for me to minimize my time if I look at it right in the morning. If I happen to look at it in the middle of the day, I will get sucked into some sort of weird time warp hole and just end up down the rabbit hole, which is not so good for me, right? And if I'm looking at it in the evening, again, it's very easy to just get sucked in, and internet is pretty much made that way, right? Especially with the fact that you can just scroll and scroll and scroll, right? That's what I was talking about in the original video, that's, an issue. So I find if I do it in the evening or like even in the afternoon, I'm much more likely to scroll. But if I just do it in the morning, the needing to get up and do things for my day tends to motivate me to put it down much quicker. So I'm thinking of, for this next week, because I do have one more week of this challenge, that I am going to like limit it to the morning. That way to see if I can keep it, like a smaller time of being on my phone. That being said, overall, I think so far having 3 weeks under my belt of not having TV and minimizing my phone usage by quite a bit has been really nice, honestly. Like, I've been able to spend more time with God. I've been able to spend more time with my cats. Like, I've just, the day doesn't seem to fly by as quickly, you know what I mean? Like, I swear there's a few particular things in this world where it just feels like time warps, right? Like, if you are at a hospital or at a doctor's office, time warps to where every second feels like an eternity, right? It's like time just really slows down there. I don't know why. But then when you're on your phone or something, time speeds up real quick. Like, you sit down to watch it for like a couple of minutes or to look at something for a minute or two, and before you know it, 3 hours have passed, right? So I find that, spending less time in that feels like the day feels a bit longer, right? It feels like I've been more productive during the day, getting more things done, and then also more time to like actually spend in my own thoughts and talking to God and just relaxing or spending time with other people. I think it's been a great way to reset my priorities and like reset my relationship with technology. So like going into April and the rest of the year, like I now kind of have a better plan and boundaries for that tech. So like I said, with the TV, it'll be like a movie, maybe once or twice a week, at the end of the evening. With my phone, it's going to be probably keeping it to that morning section, so I'm not spending a ton of time on it. And then only, like looking at it during the rest of the day if, I happen to have a phone call or text messages or something like that. But other than that, I think just keeping like the actual internet part of it just to a specific time will be helpful. And it'll be really good, Like, I thought, honestly, that giving up the TV and stuff like that would be much harder. But the TV, I don't really miss it except, the occasional watching a movie. The phone, yeah, like I said, because we're so addicted to phones, let's face it, as a culture, we are very addicted to being on phones. You go anywhere outside, stores, library, to the park, a lot of people are glued with their face to their phone, right? It's an instant gratification thing. They've done studies, that it like lights up all the pleasure zones in your brain to, just scroll and scroll the whole time. But I think, honestly, being able to take some time off of it and, like, minimize it has just given me better priorities. So, like, going forward, I'll be able to just keep it in a specific time of the day and be more conscientious of what I'm spending my time on, which is good overall. If you happen to be inspired by watching these videos and want to try it yourself, like a low-tech month, I would highly recommend it. Like, I mean, yeah, there are going to be parts that are difficult, like not just grabbing your phone when you're bored. But overall, I think it's just good to have a mental reset and to, reset our priorities with how we're using our technology and when we're using it, because it becomes very easy, right? Like, we start with good intentions when you first get a phone or you got your laptop or iPad or whatever. You start with good intention, like, so I'm going to use this to do this. I'm going to use this for this, right? And then it's very easy to just like slowly slide down into the rabbit hole of using it more and more and more for more and more useless stuff and consuming a lot of information that your brain doesn't really need, But it's easy to just, ease into it, and before you know it, you're just got way too much time going on it, right? So I think having a reset is good, just to pull ourselves back together a little bit and redefine those boundaries. So I've got 1 week left of this. and I will give you guys a final update at the end of the month. But I think that's it for now. See you guys later.